Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie. Welcome. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, and welcome to a bit of an unusual stream for us.
Yeah, we're just going to do something different and fun. Yeah.
If you're wondering why in the world are you guys on a Sunday instead of your normal Thursday night, we've had several people request because they have trouble catching up with our live streams on weeknights because they're working or any other thing.
They've asked us, all the good stuff.
Right. They said, would you do a weekend live stream? And we thought, well, that's a good idea. And we have been actually given by a couple of companies some zero alcohol product. And we thought, what better time than a Sunday? Because
we got things to do today.
Things to do. Yeah, we both have exercising to do today. We both have some training to get done. So this is a little bit unusual for us to be doing zero alcohol product and to be here on a Sunday morning. But if people like this and it works out, we might do more of it. So first off, we want to say welcome to those of you who are here and a brand new member here, the Martha Bassett Show. Welcome, Martha.
Welcome.
And Ethan and Melissa, welcome. Bourbon of the Week is here. Not too soon to be sipping on stuff, depending on what you're up to. You know, we like to drink during brunch too. Just not right now. We're training for various things, and we'll talk about some of that today too. That's one of the other things we wanted to talk about is what are you guys? Are you training for something? Have you accomplished something? Yeah. What are you up to?
Feeling like you want to try something? How those New Year's resolutions coming along? Mine are just real down the hill.
That's a great question. You know, that's. You know, we actually, one of the things that got us excited to do this was we received a book from one of our Patreons that he wrote a couple days ago. Kurt Pearson sent us his second book, which we enjoyed his first book. So very excited to read that. But any sort of accomplishment, what are you doing out there? What are you getting done?
Yeah.
So
besides the whiskey drinking, because we know that you're all into that.
It's all about balance. Welcome, Paul. Whiskey Lovers Society, all the way from Belgium in the house. How about that? Cheers. Eric Gunderson's here. Welcome. Troy and Lisa Toole, of course. Welcome. Paula Russo from Asheville, North Carolina. How much fun would it be to get to Asheville?
Supposedly beautiful.
It's supposed to be amazing. We hear great things. Eric C. is here. Welcome. Wendell Wilson. Happy Sunday. Clinton from South Africa. Are you kidding me? That's awesome.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you for joining. Melissa says, great idea for tasting. Always go to the non-alcoholic beer for January. Well, we've got a couple of options here, and I think we should start pouring it. And we do want to reiterate, this is stuff that was sent to us by the companies. We actually made a request to several zero alcohol whiskey companies, and Monday was the only brand that got back. Well, another brand got back to us, but Monday was the only one that actually sent us something. So cheers to Monday. We are under no obligation to say anything nice or otherwise about the zero alcohol whiskey. But we do appreciate any brand that is bold enough to say, we believe in it. We're going to send it to you as a whiskey YouTube channel to see what you think of it.
Right.
Bold maneuver. And so cheers to you, Monday, for having the confidence in your product to do such a thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And like Phil mentioned just a little bit ago, it's only 11 o'clock here. So not that it's too early to start sipping on whiskey, but I'm going for a bike ride after this. Phil ran 18 miles yesterday, has to do a bike ride today. So we thought, what a better opportunity than now than to try some of these products out. And like you guys too, I mean, we don't do brunch very often. Probably we used to do it more often than we do.
Yeah.
But, sometimes you feel like having a Bloody Mary or, some sort of like whiskey in your coffee or a beer or whatever. And sometimes you just
Irish that coffee up.
Want to join the party, but don't really want to join the party.
Canadian Chris says it's Sunday afternoon here. This live stream gets me out of taking down the Christmas lights.
Christmas lights. Oh, my wreath is still out by the recycling bin. We have not yet made it into the trash yet.
Yeah, there's no room for bottles in the recycling bin at the moment. Paul says he's looking forward to getting back on the mountain bike. Cheers to that. Zach DL, welcome. Who drinks whiskey? I thought this was a travel show. You said it, Grumpy O'Fart. Welcome. All the way from New Jersey here.
This is already open, but nice hollow sound there.
Not bad. I will say this, for this brand, one of the better looking bottles I've seen. They definitely didn't mess around with it. They wanted to give you the genuine whiskey feel, even if it's zero alcohol. So that's great. It's a good start. Bourbon of the Week says, unlike most, I'm actually on a weight gaining kick right now.
Oh. Me too.
It may be unusual, but we're getting there. Yeah, it's to quote our friend Ryan from a couple nights ago, it's bulking season.
It is bulking season, right? Yeah. April, I think, always is my threshold. Every year, it seems like April 1st, I try to kick my butt into gear and, summertime's coming. And every October, I'm like, I'm not going to wait till April next year. I'm going to start strong. And then I never do.
Yeah. Well, I think you're doing great.
Well, I did in January and then I went on vacation.
We started great in January.
Yeah, that's the killer. And then I didn't do anything for a while. And then here we are.
Well, part
almost
of this
April
also is I'm eager to finally get a race on the calendar this year. I don't know what I'm going to do. For those of you that don't know, I was previously an ultra runner and then had some pretty serious back issues, and I'm building up little by little. And this was actually a big month for me. I'll share my accomplishment. We want to hear your accomplishments, of course. My accomplishment for this month so far is that it's my most miles run for the course of a month since April of 2020. And that's a huge deal for me.
Yeah.
So
over 100,
120 so far, and it'll be over 140 by Thursday if all goes well. So
that seems like an insane amount of miles.
It feels good though.
Even last summer, I never even got close to that when I was training.
I bet you came close.
No, I think maybe 80 was all like maxed out on, and that was probably way more than I.
Well, you still crushed a marathon, is my recollection of it. Troy says, "Hey, Bourbon of the Week, ice cream season is near." By the way, if you guys follow Bourbon of the Week channel, and if you don't, you should.
Yes. Subscribe.
We've been pushing Chris to do a whiskey and ice cream pairing for a really long time. I can't think of anything that would be more fun than that. So if you're a Bourbon of the Week follower, subscriber, message Chris, give him a hard time that he hasn't done it yet, because I think it's a great idea.
I love it.
Little 2020 birthday bourbon right now for Living Bad 1. Not too shabby. Look at the connections here. Stephen is here. Our Chicago friend. What port of Jersey do you come from? I grew up in Haddonfield. Look at the connections here. We've got a Belgian talking to a South African, a Chicagoan talking to a New Jerseyan. I love it.
Is that how you say that? New Jerseyan?
New Jerseyan, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Lagunitas IPNA. Was listening to Taylor Hawkins. Yeah, cheers to that, Melissa. I actually, on my run yesterday, was all Foo Fighters for 18 miles. Yeah.
That was very sad.
Bourbon Rendezvous in the house. Ultra runner like 100 milers. I only heard of that because of Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me. Sounds miserable, LOL. Yeah, so I've only attempted 100 miler. I dropped out at mile 68. Just had, I tweaked my back, I had a sprained knee, and I had torn something in my foot. So that one took me out of commission for a while.
It doesn't really exude a lot of, hey, you should try this. I hurt my back, my knee, and my.
But my most successful race was a 50 miler.
Yeah.
I hit every goal that I wanted to. I wasn't especially fast, but I set a goal, stuck to it, and locked it down.
Yeah.
I've done lots of 50Ks, bunch of marathons, and all kinds of other stuff too. So
yeah, and everything in between.
Yeah,
and less. First run was what, like a 5K, right?
Yeah, 5K races,
Buffalo
10K
Trace.
races. Oh yeah, that's right. Our first 5K was at Buffalo Trace Distillery on July 4, 2013.
I know, crazy.
How about that? Been a long time, and that's the other thing. Neither one of us ran until our mid 30s.
Correct.
So
yeah, I will also say for that 100 miler, I still feel bad about that one because it was I don't remember if we were having a party or what, but I asked Phil to move a chair, and the chair was really like wide, and so it was awkward to get through into one room into the other, and something happened, and that's where he tweaked his back. And I still feel so guilty about it because it was like your training was going so well.
I've had back issues for years now, and so that started that 100-mile week with the back issue. It wasn't your fault.
Yeah,
the way you explain it totally changes my mind.
Yeah.
Take a sip. I'm with Clinton. Here, you take a sip of this. Let me know what you think.
I will have to go first.
I smell raisins and light oak.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. So obviously not alcoholic.
Right.
They say that you can make it or drink it neat. Sorry, they say you can drink it neat, but I think from everything we've read and from what we've tried so far, it's definitely more of a cocktail-y.
It's supposed to have a little bit of bite or spice.
Hey, thanks, Eric.
Similar to, thank you very much, Eric. Beautiful day in Middle Tennessee. It's I loved Tennessee when
I slow rolled that one.
Yeah. that the smallest sip you've ever taken on this show?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so right off the bat,
There's a bite to it.
it's spicy.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty thick, like it's almost a little syrupy.
Yeah, there's a viscosity to it.
You know, it doesn't taste like whiskey or like it doesn't taste like bourbon.
Not really.
It has a sweet element to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a cloying sweetness, but there's also a big spice to it.
Yeah.
So it's, it's
very flavorful.
It is super flavorful. Yeah, if you were not a whiskey drinker, you might sip on this, especially with a rock. I bet it would go to a little bit of ice in it.
Ooh, it's spicy though. There's a note in there.
Yeah, a lot of spice. There's a raisin note to it.
Mm-hmm.
That was what I was getting on the nose too.
It's interesting because, you're hoping for like, you're not hoping, but like some like real oakiness to it.
Yeah.
There it is. I can see where they're going with this, with the flavors and all of that. I mean, it does taste, which it should, a little artificial, like in the flavoring.
Although it's, I mean, it's, so their description of it, maturing in white oak, which I don't get charred white oak, but I get white oak. Well, oak wood, something light like that. Lends butterscotch, raisin, I don't know, maybe butterscotch. I was getting more caramel, but raisin and burnt brown sugar. Burnt brown sugar, I think, is accurate. They say that's to the nose. Palates layered elegantly with roasted coffee. Did you get any coffee on this?
No,
not really. Rich caramel and warm molasses. I would buy the molasses.
Molasses is the stickiness that I am getting. I think like that same kind of viscosity.
It definitely reminds you of it, yeah. And it finishes long with spicy heat and hints of orange inspired by the classic American spirit. I agree with that. There might even be a hint of clove here. There's definitely a spice and a gingerness to it.
It's so spicy.
It's like, it reminds me of those ginger chews.
Yeah. It also drinks cold.
It does, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a heat in terms of like, almost like a proof heat. That's definitely not proof heat.
Yeah.
But there's my tongue feels cold the second it hits it.
The second it hits your mouth, it's like it's been chilled.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well,
interesting.
One thing that they do send you with this product, and by the way, we're going to pour another product really quickly.
And I just want to say, I like it. I like it better this time around.
Yeah, I think that if you had somebody...
We've obviously tried this a couple times already. Yeah. I don't know if you'd see. Just because with a couple different drinks, and we wanted to just kind of get a baseline of it. And I was a little unsure of it the first time that we tried it.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, we're trying to keep an open mind here. It's not-alcoholic.
Well,
all of that stuff. It's not really meant to be. Yeah.
Yeah. But for a day when we're having a brunch, we want to have a little sip of something because we've got a lot to do later.
Yeah.
Not bad. And I would say if you had somebody who wasn't a drinker who came over and you're having a little get together or something, and if they just wanted to be a part of this, of whatever you were doing, and you put this on the rocks and gave them a glass, I really think that would be pretty satisfactory.
Yeah. I almost wish get my words out.
It's pretty early in the day.
I almost wish we had somebody that doesn't drink whiskey here to try it, because I would be interested on that perspective.
Yeah, if you're in Bend, Oregon today, let us know.
Yeah.
If you want to come try it. If you're not a whiskey drinker and you want to try something. So before we get into the cocktails of that, we were also sent another product by a brand that we really, really love. It's some friends of ours, Ghostfish Brewing Company. They have a new Ghost Fizz Hop Seltzer. And speaking of cool labels, this is the...
That's good.
I love the design of this label.
Yeah.
And this is a hop-infused sparkling water, new product they're doing. 0 carbs, 0 calories, 0 alcohol, water, hops, citric acid, 100% gluten-free, from Ghostfish Brewing in Seattle, which is a dedicated gluten-free brewery. So we love their beers, and we're going to get into these seltzers here. I've got glasses and some ice.
I like it. I mean, the seltzers.
We drink plenty of seltzer water around here. We usually drink the Kirkland stuff, which is fantastic.
Yeah. And, hard seltzers are not becoming. They are just a huge thing on the market right now. Yeah, I have one too. I'll pour my own.
All right. And speaking of races and things I haven't signed up for yet.
Phil's I think you haven't drank out of this glass once.
It's been I've had beers out of it. This is the lastest, not fastest. You run until there's only one person left. So everybody that finished got a DNF glass. So there you go.
I love that.
Finish. That was a fun race.
I also love the idea of just like
over and over.
Yeah, just being like, everyone over there is at the because there was beer, of course, for all the spectators. The idea of running around.
Sean showed up with a keg.
Yeah, running around in circles and saying like they're having more fun than I'm having, and I'm never gonna win this race anyway. I'm just gonna scooch out.
There is a lure when
There's
you're
a lure
out there.
to drop out.
Well, especially because it was ice cold and frozen that morning, and then it got really hot for a split second, and then a downpour. So,
ooh, I forgot that this was hop flavored.
Oh man, the effervescence. I love the nose on it. It smells like hops, and we brew kind of a lot of beer around here.
Yeah,
we like to homebrew,
yeah,
and so we love the smell of hops. This smells great.
Nice job. Hop flavored.
It is hop flavored. What do you know?
I know it tastes like hops.
It's interesting because hops can be very, very bitter. This isn't bitter. It's just kind of a nice. Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put an ice cube in it. Why not?
Oh, this Jersey people. Sorry.
Yeah, we're international for a hot minute here. So that's Ghostfish, and thank you to Ghostfish for sending us this product as well. Again, we're under no obligation to say anything nice or not nice about it, but pretty good.
Well, I can get after this for sure. I mean, I like seltzer water anyway, or
any kind of bubbly water.
Bubbly water. I don't know about seltzer water, bubbly water. That is definitely something that's changed in my palate as I got older, because I remember trying to drink like I don't know, gin and is tonic water seltzer?
No. It's
which one's the seltzer? But anyway, they would do like gin and seltzer or whatever, and it was just always too
much
effervescent-y. Yeah.
So let's get caught up here really quickly. We got a lot to do. Grumpy Old Fart says, after back surgery and both hips replaced, my goal is to walk 9 holes of golf for 7 straight days. Currently on my 4th day in a row, 3 more to go. That's great. Keep after it.
Any hole-in-ones or pars or birdies? I don't know anything about golf.
Yeah. Have you ever hit a golf ball? Do you have a 100-mile race on your bucket list, hurt or bad water, etc.? So I've always wanted to do bad water. But my biggest problem now with my spinal issues is that going downhill crushes me. And I used to be a really good power hiker, so I could get up really well, and then I could run down and do that comfortably. But with my spine being what it is, I can't really do downhill like that anymore. So everything that I'm looking at now is flat, which is troublesome when you live in basically a mountain town. So but I'm looking at a couple races in particular. Badwater is a bucket list race if I ever had one, but
that's the one where it's like 120 degrees,
Death Valley,
right?
Yeah, 135 miles in Death Valley, straight up Mount Whitney at the end too. So you can't. It's really a brutal race, but I like the idea of it. But there's a couple of flatter races around that I'm looking at. One being what was it? So one in Illinois that I like the look of.
Oh shoot, I don't know. You've been talking about it forever. I should know this.
Hennepin, the Hennepin.
Oh,
100.
right.
Yeah, and I might do the 50
Dixon,
mile
Illinois,
there.
I think, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be ready for 100 in the fall of this year. I think I'll probably be targeting a 12-hour or 50-mile race this year, and then a 100-miler next year.
I'm doing the wife thing where I'm like, let's start it, but then let's start at 50 and see how that goes, and then go from there, because I always worry because I don't want him to be injured for another year and a half, because I know how miserable that was for him.
It was terrible.
And but then at the same time, I'm like, but we're getting old, so if we're gonna do this, we do have to do this soon.
Yeah, sooner than later, but also do it right.
But also, if you watch we do watch a lot of YouTube videos of ultramarathon runners and stuff, the real killers are the 70-year-olds that come out and just kill the races.
I would love
I think
to be
they
an
just
old
have
guy.
a mental capacity that I do not have at this stage of life to finish that kind of stuff.
No, I ran a 50K in California. Was it Salmon Falls or Salmon River? I think it was Salmon River 50K. And this was probably 2016 or 2017. And there were 2 old guys, and I kept passing them on the downhill, and they kept passing me on the uphills.
Oh, funny.
And they were just they were chatting, and they were just slow and steady. They were the tortoise. And
that is
I was
thing.
I want to be that old guy someday.
I know. That's the mistake I always make. So I'm a good downhill, but I'm a terrible elevation, like climbing anything. I'm so slow. But so then I always want to make up time. And if you would just
settle into a rhythm.
Just go to a rhythm, because I remember one lady that we kept same thing. We kept passing. She ended up finishing before because she was like, "Wow, you're such a good hiker," and this and that and that. And she ended up blowing past me, like beat me by like 10 minutes because she just slowed and steadied it instead of like trying to hustle on the other ones. Anyway.
Yeah. He's Bourbon Rendezvous says, isn't non-alcoholic whiskey like iced tea? A little bit.
There is an iced tea-ness to this.
I would be honest. I would probably drink this over ice most days much sooner than I would drink iced tea. And I actually like iced tea.
It's very sweet smelling.
I saw Ernie as a cat in here, by the way. Did you see?
Oh, yeah, I did. Whiskey brunch.
Ruby's got their Costco haul put away. See, there's an accomplishment for the day. We like hearing about your accomplishments. That's one.
No,
went to Costco, got it all put away.
It's a
big deal.
It's a day when you've made the decision to go to Costco. I actually have it down to like I can get in and out in about 30 to like I only pick up the same items every time. So I have the aisles down, the speed down. There's no browsing.
No, it's a speed run.
Yeah. I'm on like supermarket sweep when I go through there.
Zach DL says, I've done a last person standing ultra, only made it 33 miles. I think that's what I did on Lastest Not Fastest. I think I think it was 33 miles because my goal that day, I had just turned 40, was to go 40. And I eventually was like, nope. It was supposed to be a 4-mile loop that you had to complete every hour, but it was like a 4.6 mile loop that had to be finished every hour.
Which is a huge difference.
And it's a massive difference when, given how difficult that course was.
And it was raining. It was very cold. I remember the weather was terrible.
It was brutal.
But the guy who won ended up going like 100 miles or something, right? Or 14 hours.
Well, the first year the guy I think the winner only had like 88 miles.
Oh.
And then the next year there were like 2 people that went over 180 miles or 200 miles or something like that. So yeah. That went a little crazy. Let's make a cocktail.
I was going to say, so
Monday.
They say that they say you can drink it neat, but they say it really shines in cocktails. And if you're doing a brunch and you don't feel like drinking, or maybe you just don't drink anymore, you just don't want to.
Yep. Or if you're driving.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true too. Or if you're driving, this I'm hoping is a good alternative because we've all been there where we just don't feel like we want to be part of the scene, but not be part of the scene, but be part of the party, but not maybe have the drinks.
What's up? The Bourbon Ranch is here. Nerd alert.
Nerd.
Okay, so we've got Monday made these recommendations for their cocktails.
Yep.
We're going to make them the way that we make them. We don't keep a lot of fresh fruit around the house or anything like that. We're going to there are a couple things that we do like.
I used the lime to marinate something yesterday, so we do not have
we don't have fresh lime. But they give you recommendations with the Monday. By the way, the packaging that
I was
they
just
sent
going to say, I just want to say their packaging and stuff is top notch.
So we've got 3 cocktails on here that are things that we actually make. Okay, one of them occasionally, the other 2 fairly regularly. So let's start with just a whiskey cola.
Oh, that one's easy. Okay.
No, you won't get any kind of alcohol. There's no alcohol at all in the Monday. So in either one of these. So yeah, you could be pulled over and not have any problems. So
we can't say that for a fact, but it is 0.
I would, considering it has 0% alcohol,
so that should.
So 1.5 ounces of whiskey, and then we have a can of Diet Coke.
Wow. That's in there tight.
Good job.
Thank you.
And then I've got some ice over here. If we want ice, I don't think we care.
We didn't bring up the sexy visual. Okay. 1.5. Oh boy.
Well, that mouse pad's from 2019 anyway.
Spill that all. Yeah, it's a calendar, which obviously
we're great at making cocktails.
We probably should have put the ice in first. That's usually what you do.
Yeah, it's okay. Things are splashing anyway.
Yeah. All right.
And then here you go. Oh, you need the.
Yeah.
Here you go. We're doing great. This is
unlike our favorite cocktail channel.
How to drink. Yeah. Welcome to the Bourbon Van's new cocktail channel.
Yeah.
But he might smell it. I doubt it. Honestly, it drinks.
No, it doesn't. It's just
it's
sweet.
The no tell, no smell, 0 alcohol whiskey.
It actually, it's all sweet notes, right? I think raisins, brown sugar.
Yeah. Even the butterscotch comes around after a while, but it's the uncharred
How much Coke
white.
Was supposed to put in? Didn't matter.
Put the whole can in. The uncharred white. It's 12 ounces to 1.5 ounces. Julie's a sloppy non-alcoholic drinker. It's amazing. The uncharred white oak is the thing that comes through the most to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's because the oak continues to be on my breath.
Oh, gotcha.
And I don't dislike it. It's nice.
Yeah. Woo! It's spicy. I just licked the spoon. Yeah. I do like a good rum and coke, which I know I'm not drinking rum, but this the initial
I do like rum
taste
and coke, yeah.
reminds me a bit like that, because you know how especially like spiced rum is spicy.
Yeah. Squeeze a bit of fresh lime, top of the quality cola. Well, we did part of it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the ratio's off.
Oh, it smells really good.
Well, I guess it's not supposed to taste like alcohol. Now you know how I make my rum and cokes.
Oh, you know what? This was supposed to be in a
small
tall Collins glass, so yeah, I just assumed that we were supposed to fill the glass with Coke because that's what we usually do.
Oh, well, anyway. But this is good.
Honestly, the aftertaste is
it's pleasant.
Very whiskey Coke-ish. It tastes like generally when like your uncle drinks Jack and Coke nonstop.
Yeah. Nonstop.
This is kind of like that if you mix it a little weak.
Yeah, I don't hate this. I'm going to say that right now. And it feels like you're drinking a cocktail.
Yeah, that's satisfying.
Yeah.
I'd drink that at a barbecue or something.
If you're a rum and coke or a whiskey coke person.
If you like cola, I think that works.
It tastes like you're drinking a cocktail.
It tastes like there's an aftertaste of cocktail.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, I'm going to give that a thumbs up.
I'm going to give it a thumbs up too.
Yeah.
With the cola, it works. And if you had a lime, I do think it would be better.
Yeah. Man, I kind of was thinking about all my girlfriends who've had babies over the years, and they were pregnant but didn't want to tell anybody, but you'd go to the bar and then you would obviously know because they wouldn't be drinking, and then you'd call them out on it. That would fool you.
So it's a good question, Canadian Chris. That would fool you, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding is that this is not, he says, I have heard but never seen non-alcoholic whiskey. Is it regular whiskey that's been de-alcoholized or something sweet? I don't think that this has ever had alcohol.
No.
My understanding is that this is produced without any sort of alcohol in it to begin with. There is an ingredients list. You want to read that off?
Natural spring water, natural flavors, citric acid, fruit and vegetable juice for color, sodium benzoate preservatives, monk fruit extract. That's it.
What do you think the monk fruit's bringing to the table?
Flavor?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is 0% from the start.
It has a sweet element to it. So yes. So 0. Yeah, I would say that.
That's interesting. That aftertaste really sticks with you on that drink.
I liked the rum. I keep saying rum and coke because that's all I ever. I like the whiskey coke option.
Yeah.
Non-alcoholic whiskey coke option. I'm going to give that one a thumbs up.
Melissa says is it a great pre-training drink? I'm going to say I don't really drink Coke before my training, but I would say if you had to drink something, yeah, I do. I love a Coke. Like mid really long run. Yeah. A couple sips of Coke can really settle up. That's the number one thing that happens in ultra running is
your belly gets upset.
Yeah, your stomach goes south at some point because you eat so many like gels and sugary things to keep your body going. A lot of times your belly gets sour, and a Coke can really help. So yeah, maybe drink a cocktail during a race. Yeah. Monk fruit's a natural sweetener, says Ruby. That's great. Yeah. So does Ethan.
Well, good. See,
look at you. Look at our Patreons coming through. They know.
I love it.
They know everything.
All right.
Super potent sweetener. I would believe it. I would think that when they
say
just
there's from the nose, I would say the nose is so incredibly sweet.
Yeah. Whenever you use an extract of any type, you generally you're like, oh, okay, that's extra. Yeah. Nose or flavor or whatever it might be. Let's do the highball next.
Oh, okay. Let's go in for the old fashioned.
This is one that we drink frequently. We drink it rye and ginger, effectively. And so
I have too many glasses on the table right now.
What do we want to mix this in? In that Elysian glass over there?
Sure.
All right, let's do that. Oh, no, we've got the mug. Wasn't there a mug around? Oh, I've got the mug.
Oh, good.
Straight from Cheers in Boston. The real Cheers.
Oh, yeah, East Coasters.
East Coasters.
We were very touristy when we went to Boston.
I had the best time. I love Boston. Yeah. All right. We've got ginger ale. We have ice. Let's do the ice first this time.
Yeah. So we probably shouldn't make it as big as we just. Well, maybe we should. I don't know.
I mean, that's how we usually do it. We do 2 ounces generally of whiskey.
This uncorked.
We usually do 2 ounces of whiskey and then we fill it up with ginger ale.
Yeah.
So let's do that this time because 1.5. I think was good with the cola.
Yeah.
But I wonder if we're going to want a little more flavor with the ginger ale.
Yeah. So now you're thinking 2?
Yeah, I think 2 is the right idea. We did 1.5 last time, yeah?
Yep. All right. Whiskey gingers, which, if you do like cocktails, whiskey ginger is one of my favorites. So easy to drink.
Zach DL says he's training for his 5th Boston Marathon. Congrats.
Yay.
That is not an easy race.
No, it's impossible to get into.
And it is a difficult race to boot. That's a tough marathon. Good for you.
Look at that frothiness.
Look at that.
Yeah. I guess we need to get highball glasses. We literally only have like pint glasses.
We've got so many glasses.
A million whiskey glasses, but all beer glasses, and we don't drink a ton of beer anymore.
You want to give that a stir?
Sure can.
Love a good highball. Yeah, Wendell loves a highball. I see him in the garage with him sometimes on Instagram. I do too. I especially love one in the afternoon. I think it's it's a good way to start. Like if it's a hot Saturday afternoon or something like that, and you're gonna go hang out in the backyard, that's a good start. It's better than a neat, or sometimes you do like a low proof whiskey with just like a ton of ice in it, which is not something we do often, but when it's super hot, why not? Here's
my concern about this drink, and I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know, but this is very spicy already, just on its own. It has a very ginger spice to it, and then ginger ale, which is also obviously ginger.
I'm kind of excited about it.
I think it's gonna,
This is one that they say 1.5 ounces of whiskey and then ginger ale. So we went overboard on the Monday whiskey, and then ginger ale and then fresh lemon. And I have to think that the fruit might be very welcome in something like this. Smells great. Mm-hmm. The bubbliness keeps getting into my nose and it's choking me.
I'll be perfectly honest. In going into this, I thought there's just no way that I'm gonna like these.
Yeah,
they're good.
Yeah,
this one is good.
I could use. The funny thing is, we expected it to be too spicy.
Yeah, I could almost.
And it's the other direction. I could use more spice. Like we're used to rye.
Oh right, it's almost like they not counterbalance, but
counteract each other
with that ginger spiciness.
That's really interesting. So actually, I did make one of these a while back. I was picking you up from a flight. Your flight didn't come in until like 9:30, and I didn't. I had a taste for something, but I didn't want to start drinking before I drove to pick you up from the airport. I had one of these. It's satisfying.
Yeah. I will say there is something about this mixture, and I don't know if it's the ginger ale or if it's, again, counteracting. It does add almost like something to the roof of your mouth, like almost like
there's a coating.
A coating to the roof of your mouth. And I don't know if it's just the pile on of all the other stuff too. I will say I do like to drink a Diet Coke here and there. I do like the rum and Coke, I think, a little bit more than
you like that better than this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want more ginger, which seems crazy because we have two ginger things mixed together.
Yeah, it's weirdly sweet.
Yeah.
And that's a really spicy ginger ale, this Canada Dry zero sugar ginger ale. Generally with a rye, it gets really spicy and we like that. So, well, that's interesting. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
I think that if you thought you were making a bourbon ginger, I don't know that a lot of people would be able to tell the difference.
Oh, you don't think so?
I think a rye ginger you would know right away, but a bourbon ginger,
I'm sorry.
I think most people would sip that and go, that tastes great. Especially if you had a little lime wedge in there, or like they recommend a bit of fresh. How do they suggest fresh lemon, top of the spicy, crispy ginger ale, gentle stir, and garnish with a lemon twist. I think if you had lemon twist on the, if you had
add a little citrus.
Yeah, if you had a citrus nose to it, I don't think most people would be able to tell. Hal Jarvis wants to know what's for brunch.
We had a diner breakfast this morning, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, we made it, but I always call it the diner breakfast because it's scrambled eggs, sausage links, toast with jam.
Yeah. Pretty good breakfast, actually.
That was good. Phil made it.
Strong coffee.
And very strong coffee. Yes, of course. For every morning.
Yeah. So I like that. I think that both of those are pretty good. And if you weren't a whiskey drinker, but you wanted to participate with whiskey drinkers, both of those would be suitable. Or if you were just someplace and you had to drive later and you wanted to keep it level, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm trying to say. I'm thinking about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
No,
There
it's
is something that
interesting.
sticks to the roof of your mouth, sticks to the inside of your mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's not my favorite thing, but sometimes you get that with a rye ginger anyways, because the ginger ale can bubble up a lot and it can stick to things. So I don't know.
didn't mean to take that away. Did you?
No,
want
no, I'm good. I'm good. All right. We have one more cocktail to make.
I know. We're just gonna keep on making them. Do you want to make this one, or do you want me to?
Well, we can. Let's tag team it.
Okay.
Okay.
First.
So
we're gonna make the maple old fashioned. Right.
That's right. Yeah, and for this, I have great big ice cubes that just leaked all over my lap, which is a good look.
Which I'm excited about this one. I love an old fashioned. We got very much into maple old fashions, and then black walnut, right? Black walnut old fashioned.
Black walnut old fashioned. Yeah. So this is their. They recommend. They call this a maple old fashioned. 2 ounces of Monday whiskey, maple syrup, bitters, and a fresh orange. We don't have orange. We don't add orange to our old fashions unless we're making a regular old fashioned. But the black walnut maple one. So they recommend regular bitters, but we're going with black walnut. And by the way, we don't know how to make cocktails. We probably should have added the ice last. I don't care.
No. The ice goes first.
They recommend to add Monday whiskey, 2 to 3 dashes of bitters. So did you do 2 ounces in there?
Yep.
Okay. And then 2 to 3 dashes of the bitters. And a bar spoon of maple syrup. So that's actually exactly.
Are we doing the black walnut bitters?
I think we should. That's how we usually drink it. That's our preferred way. So I wouldn't. Yeah, go ahead and shake it good in there. That's nice.
Is that enough?
Yeah, that's pretty powerful stuff. I'm not really scared of that bitters though because I like the flavor of them so much. Oh, look who it is! Hey, buddy.
Oh, Norman woke up. And do we have just a splash of maple syrup?
I usually just turn it upside down in the glass for a real quick second.
I'm going to do this because sometimes it gets too sweet. And then I think we have to stir it for 20 seconds.
Stir it vigorously for 30 plus seconds until the syrup is completely dissolved.
I'm going to walk away only because it'll be really noisy.
And then pour contents into an old-fashioned glass and garnish with a long slice of fresh orange peel. So we just made the drink in the glass instead of using a shaker. Or a stirring glass, whatever. I
am gonna miss the orange peel because we always do the orange.
We don't do an orange peel with this version though, not with the maple walnut ones. Well, there you have it. That's a good looking cocktail.
Looks right.
It looks right.
Yeah. It does have a distinct smell to it, I will say. I mean, this has a distinct smell to it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too.
I'm waiting.
You're withholding? It does have a distinct smell.
You wouldn't be fooled on this one. You wouldn't be fooled on the old fashioned. I will say that.
Ooh. It tastes like cola on the back end, weirdly.
It's spicy in this mix.
I think what I've noticed, Ernie as a cat says, stir until the glass gets frosty. We got the frosty glass. We did it.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Thank you for the tip. What I think that we've determined here, boy, that's spicy on the back end. All the spiciness that was missing from the ginger ale is here.
Yeah.
It's I think weird. So what I think we noticed, what I'm taking away from this is it's great with some effervescence. It's great with Coke. It's great with ginger ale.
That's a no for me on that one.
Yeah.
Woo.
I think it's very good when it has some effervescence to sort of give it backbone.
Yes.
But when it's in a cocktail without any sort of bubbliness to it, it's not my favorite.
You wouldn't be fooled. I keep saying that. You wouldn't be fooled on this one. You might be on,
but
depending on how familiar you are.
But if you were saying, okay, everybody's having old fashions tonight, I got to drive, so I'm going to have my own version of an old fashioned.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's just different. You wouldn't expect this to be the same. Flavor wise or profile wise,
I would say do the whiskey ginger. That would be if everyone's having old fashioned, just go with a whiskey ginger,
or whiskey Coke.
Whiskey Coke.
I actually think with the Coke, I'm with you. That surprisingly, that's not my favorite cocktail. I think that's the one that I liked the most.
That's the one I liked the most. There was something, maybe just the sweetness of the Coke or I don't even know what flavor could be in Coke, but it counterbalanced the very strong, very sweet syrupiness of this.
This has a cola note to it, which I
Yeah.
think maybe is why it plays so well
Yeah.
with the cola, because that what we thought was ginger, it's not ginger. It's spicy, but it's not ginger from the Monday. I mean,
I wonder how. Oh well, I was just thinking like ginger beer. Is there actual beer in ginger beer? But you know how like ginger beer is like
think so.
very spicy.
yeah, that might be a better
I
pair
always
than the ginger
wonder
ale.
if that would pair better than a ginger ale, because it is missing some of that. If you're drinking a whiskey ginger, you want that bite of ginger, and
Yeah.
for some reason, it though it shows up in these other two glasses.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I honestly, the more I sip on this, the more I like it. It is that cloying sweetness, that coating in the mouth is still back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wendell, maybe. I think it might have to be.
Yeah.
Actually, the next live stream that we do, I'd like to do. Sagamore Spirits sent us a bunch of ryes that we really need to get into.
Yeah.
Because I feel bad that we haven't talked about that yet on the channel since they sent that to us, including their previous barrel strength rye, cask strength rye, which was all NGP, and now they've got part NGP, part their own distillate. So we want to try those side by side and see how it's changed.
Yeah. I am curious. So
thank you, Wendell, by the way. Thank you.
Thanks, Wendell. I am curious. So I really loved this hop flavored seltzer. Totally different than any that I've had before.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the can back up there.
And I like
Ghostfish,
it on its own.
If you're looking to see what we're drinking on
Have you tried putting this into this yet?
I think we should. That's a great idea. I actually think that might pair nicely.
Just because it would be like another
dump it in there. Why not?
Version of that. Oh, it totally changed the color. That's funny.
Norman, you want to come join in? Want to come say hi? Come on. We were a bit on Norman watch this week, by the way. He was pretty ill earlier this week, and he seems to be. I don't want to say on the mend, but he's had a little bit of a bounce back that we're really happy to see.
I'm not gonna joke. Last time we took him to the vet, we didn't know what was wrong with him, and as soon as we took him to the vet, he like miraculously healed. We made the vet appointment for Monday, and all of a sudden he's miraculously healed. Those cats, man.
Yeah. Canadian Chris says it must be Vermont maple syrup. LOL. Just kidding. There's no such thing as bad maple syrup. Yeah, ours is
Kirkland brand.
Costco. We love it. It's great. It's great syrup. Is Norman a meower? Our 15-year-old cat Gracie can wake the dead with her loud, mournful meows. He only meows at dinner time.
Only for food. Yeah.
Yep. Which he didn't do forever, and then all of a sudden yesterday he started doing again. So he hadn't been eating really at all. So how we can wear you out mournfully meowing to go outside? Yeah. Norman will meow at us if he sees us outside to come join us, which we had him on a leash earlier this week. He's loving that.
Yeah.
He does love going outside, but yeah, the only time he really meows and acts silly is dinner
food
time.
And treats.
Yeah.
Food and
treats too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right before bed.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of that?
It's a nice combo.
I actually like the smell of this.
And I mean, it doesn't have to be the hot flavored seltzer either. I think the crazy sweetness of this.
Oh, wow.
And then the seltzer watering, I don't know, even the hop flavor.
I like the way that pairs
out.
because the oak comes flooding through. This is
more
like a whiskey ginger than the whiskey ginger was.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. And the hop nose makes it way more interesting than the regular whiskey ginger. I actually like the way that tastes. And because of the effervescence in here and the bitterness from the hops, I feel like it pulls away some of that cloying sweetness that sticks to the inside of your mouth.
Yes.
This might be the best way to drink this.
I like it. Made our own.
There you go. Seltzer. And that with the lime wedge in it would be fantastic. That would be great.
Oh, I like this one.
Yeah, I do too. Now I'm jealous. Now I want some.
And then you're not, and then especially if you don't like soda, right? Because that's
if you're not drinking soda, because if you're doing a fitness thing and you're staying away from soda too. Yeah. Well, there's a spiciness that sticks around no matter which one of these things you're drinking. But I think the winner today, if we were choosing a winner, would be the Ghost Fizz from Ghostfish. Yeah. Because it's just so easy drinking. It's so versatile. I really like that. So well done, Ghostfish. And thank you again to them for sending us a sample.
Yep.
And the Monday, surprisingly, overachieved. I did not expect, honestly, anything at all from it.
Right.
I went into this expecting very little and found something that absolutely, if we had to drive for a considerable way to go to a party or something like that, and I didn't want to have to drive home, like, again, we live in a mountain town. The roads here can be tricky if you're going too far, so you don't always want to drink something. That's a nice alternative.
Yeah, I will say I liked my order for the drinks would be the whiskey Coke.
Okay.
Or I'm just going to call it the whiskey Coke. So the whiskey Coke, then the whiskey, the whiskey Coke, and then the whiskey seltzer.
Yeah.
Are definitely the top, and then the whiskey ginger. Though I would like to try it with something that had versus the soda, like a real ginger kick to it, because I think it's missing that like spice, that bite there.
Yeah.
And then I'm not going to put a recommendation on the old fashioned. That was not for me.
No, I really think that the seltzer is the best thing because it isn't so sweet.
Yeah.
I think the sweetness is the problem with all these. So I like it with the seltzer.
Yeah.
Just it balances it nicely.
Yeah.
And but then again, I'm a guy who likes neat whiskey. I'm a guy who doesn't like sweet cocktails and colas and stuff like that. So yeah, that I'm not surprised it appeals to me. Matter of fact, I'm going to pour some in my seltzer.
Oh, are you? Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
Bourbon Rendezvous says Norman's pretty chill. Yeah, he ought to be. He's 16 and change.
16 and change, and he literally sleeps with his catnip toys. So I feel like he's like super high all the time, which is okay,
Yeah, I mean, we've all got our personal issues.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Monday and Ghost Fizz.
Nice.
And what are you going to do today? You're going to go for a ride?
Yeah, so after the live stream, we have this beautiful path for Street Rapids by us. So it goes past the Deschutes River, and then I go up, and there's a beautiful view of the mountains, and then kind of go through the neighborhoods and circle back around. So I can't remember how far it is. I think it's like 13 miles or something. Nice. Yeah.
And I'm going to jump on the Peloton after this. If you have a Peloton, if you'd like to follow me, let me know. I actually don't know what my name is off the top of my head.
I was thinking it was Bourbon Phil, but maybe that's not it.
I think it's Bourbon_Phil.
Yeah.
So feel free to follow me on there. Wendell says, kind of like the only way to drink a White Claw with a shot of vodka. Yeah, I'm not against that.
I tried that.
It's pretty sweet to me.
Yeah.
We call them clams. Just a funny name.
Just because we think it's funny. It reminds me of what was that drink from the 90s that was really popular?
Zima.
We used to just put Jolly Ranchers in that stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, it looked cool.
I've actually never tried a White Claw with a shot of vodka. The reason I drink the White Claws is to lessen the alcohol.
Yeah.
But that probably make it taste better.
Ruby says positive vibes going out to Norman and his health. You hear that, bud? He looks a lot better than he did a couple days ago. I can tell you. We were on Norman watch.
Yeah.
I've been deciding to get a Peloton or not. Bourbon of the week, I really like it. It's been with my spinal issues, it was the only thing I could do for a long time, so it kind of kept me engaged. Yeah. And then I started this channel because I had nothing else to do
besides exercising.
Yeah, I was like, I can ride the Peloton or I can drink.
Oh,
whiskey.
right.
I may as well drink whiskey in front of people.
Yeah. Because the running takes you, I mean, he did the 18 miles yesterday, and it took
just about 3 hours.
3 hours. And that was fast. That would have taken me 5 hours. But
you did a marathon in 5 hours.
Yeah.
Of course, you don't run that fast in your training.
Yeah. My only thing about the Peloton is like, I think it's great because I love the interaction and like the energy and whatever, but it's too expensive to get if you're not going to use it.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. Like you have to, like, we're like, okay, the only way we're going to get this is if we like guarantee to use it. Otherwise it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Howie says he wants to be like Norman when he grows up. Yeah.
Being on a whiskey tube channel.
Right. He's our
being
mascot.
chill and being high all the time.
Being high all the time. Yeah.
Just sounds like a pretty good life, huh?
It's not too bad.
Yeah. Anyway,
well, that actually went faster than I thought it would with all the cocktails that we had to mix there. But that was really all kinds of fun. I guess final analysis. I think that zero alcohol whiskey from Monday is satisfying. If you need an alternative,
yeah.
If you mix it with the right things, I recommend a more bitter cocktail, and I do think fresh fruit would go a long ways to helping it. Anything with a little effervescence definitely helps as well. So I would say stick with that, but try them all. Find what fits your flavor profile and what you like on your palate.
Yeah, I find it very interesting. If you are a whiskey drinker, like we said with the old fashioned, you won't be fooled. But it does have a lot of characteristics, that they're trying to replicate, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff in there, but it is very sweet. But I thought with just the couple mixed cocktails, that's how I would recommend drinking them.
Yeah.
That those were way better than I thought they were going to be.
I'm really curious how they age it. Is it because it says white oak, maturing in white oak? It doesn't say charred white oak.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that would make a big difference. I'm sure they tested a million different things. But charred oak is that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Like that's where all the flavors come from that I really like when I'm drinking my bourbon. And so I think maybe that's what I found to be missing. But again, with the Coke, you wouldn't know any better.
Yeah.
And
I do like the idea of, we'll pack it up now, grab a quick something to eat, or like say you were out with your friends and whatever, but you had you wanted to go for a bike ride or a run or whatever this afternoon. Like I'm not gonna have that feeling. Like sometimes I'll drink a beer and then go for a run, and then mid-run you're like, I shouldn't have had that beer, which
Or you might have a beer during a marathon, which
or
is what
during
I did in Portland.
We do have a lot of friends who drink during their training, which
Sean.
It's the only calories they intake, which is funny to me, but that would just
our friend Sean ran the Badger Creek 100-miler a couple years ago, which is actually this weekend up in Washington State, and his belly went south on him. He was having trouble keeping anything down. It was like 7 a.m, and the only thing that worked for him was beer and bacon.
I love it.
Whatever it takes.
Yep. Anyway.
Well,
thanks for joining us. I know this was just kind of like an oddball, something a little bit different, a Sunday afternoon. Everyone's got stuff to do.
Yeah.
We'll be back with our barrel strength drinks later.
Thanks again, everyone, for joining us. Melissa says about to take the dogs for a walk, hoping the van's traveling to the East Coast this year. We hope so too. We will see exactly what we can get done. We're picking a race basically based on where we're going to be. So either California or Indiana for me, and you've still got some ideas about what you want to do. Bourbon Ranch says I did squats after a day of drinking at Rocktown. Rocktown's great whiskey over there. I hit my all-time PR that day, mainly because I think alcohol lowered my perception of pure danger.
Yeah. And it loosens up your muscles, right? So you're just like loosey-goosey out there.
For a short burst, I wouldn't recommend doing it for an extended period of time. But that's it. Well, what did we just watch? The Other Guys, where Will Ferrell's character is trying to be a tough guy, and he's working out, bench press, and then he drinks the Jack Daniels off the while he's bench pressing, and he puts it down. He can't do it, and he comes back with a Mike's Hard Lemonade. I love it. It's so funny. Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining us. If you want to join our Strava running club, you don't even have to start. Just go for a walk and track it. Join our running club. Yeah. And what else? Anything else?
From wherever you are.
To wherever we are.
Is that how we do it?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
From wherever we are.
To wherever you are. See, that's because I usually say the second half. Cheers, everybody.
Well, cheers.